Hey, this is Mona from Unscripted Tarot Together, and I wanted to start a teaching series on how I learn tarot, the basic meaning of the cards. So I've got some tools here, and I think this is the first thing I wanted to go over. So we have the book, we have the deck, and then we have my little teaching trick or my little learning trick that I have used throughout various things in my life to learn different things, because sometimes you just have to memorize things, and that's really the only way you're going to be able to learn things. The first thing I want to talk about is the books. So the first book I ever got was Liz Dean's The Ultimate Guide to Tarot. I did buy it from Amazon, spiral bound. You don't have to do that. You can actually buy the book and have it spiral bound at Staples or Office Max for about $8. So you could do that. The other thing, if you're looking for a book, the thing that I really like about this book is that you get, I'm trying to find, okay, so you get a colored plate, okay? The other thing I like about her book is she gives some very, her descriptions are really succinct, they're short, they're to the point. And in her book you see that she gives us the card in color, which you have to have, I really think you need the book with color of plates. Understanding the Justice card, and then she does the upright meaning, she does a reverse meaning, and then she has a wisdom message as well as other things. So I like this card, and I like the fact that it lays out flat when I'm learning different cards. So this was my very first book that I used. Okay, I'm going to keep that open because we'll be looking at the Justice card. Then the other book I just got is called the Tarot Bible. And I like this book too, simply because, once again, we have color plates, and I like that. Her descriptions are a little bit less, and you can see that her deck that she's using is not necessarily the Rider-Waite, but it's built off the Rider-Waite deck. So that is a very, very good thing, and that's what we like. We like color. We like that it's big. We like that we can see the color. We can see what's on the card. Okay, let's go through the Rider-Waite deck. Now, the reason why I like the Rider-Waite deck is because all other tarot decks are built off this deck, okay? It's a nice colored deck. The colors are clear and crisp. You can see what the color is. You can see what the environment might be. Here we have ships here. The guy is juggling 2 pentacles. I want to get, okay. Here's something with a little bit more color, a little bit more description. You can see different animals. You can see the different environment. You can see who this is, the color on it. All of the things on each one of these cards is very symbolic, and that's why the tarot really feeds into your subconscious knowing, because we know these images because we're humans and they came with us. Here's another one. 7 of Pentacles. You can see the color on there. You can see he's watching something grow, okay? Like, okay, that's interesting. Let's look at the Death card, because people are afraid of this. This card simply means transformation. That's all it really means. And that transformation is a good thing, but you can see the different things that are happening on the card. There's a scene that's happening on the card, okay? So just keep that in mind when you are, I just really recommend always starting with the Rider-Waite. And the reason why, I'm going to show you something here. So this is a deck I bought actually in Flagstaff, Arizona. And it's called the Botanica deck, a tarot deck about the language of flowers, okay? And I also do flower work. I have a flower essence business called Bee's Breath. and I put together energy sprays for people. So getting back to the point that I'm trying to make about the Rider-Waite is, if you look at this deck, they're beautiful plates, okay? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous color plates, okay? But you don't know what they mean. This is a King of Cups. I wouldn't know that's a King of Cups until I read that here. But from looking at the picture on the card, you would not know the meaning of this card that you can draw from and move forward with some other interpretations of the card. I love this deck because it is absolutely beautiful. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful, right? Lovely, lovely. But you wouldn't know necessarily the traditional meaning of this card by looking at this deck. So this is why I always tell people, if you start with the Rider-Waite deck and learn the Rider-Waite deck, then you can read any deck that comes to you, and you will find, if you have gotten bit by the tarot bug, you are going to see more decks that are just so gorgeous, and you're going to go, oh my God, I love this artwork. Because we love art, we love the beauty of art, and we love that it speaks to us. So we like that visual process. The other thing I purchased was, I purchased these stamps, and they're actually tarot stamps. You can get a big, thick, for about $10 you can get all the stamps in miniature of the the major arcana, the cups and wands cards, and the pentacle and the swords cards. And what I do with these is, this is how I built my library, my learning library, when I was learning different cards, okay, or different cards in the deck. That's how I did it, okay. So let's do this. Let's look at the Justice card, because that's what we came to. We're going to find the Justice card in the deck, okay? We're just going to say, for today and for purposes of this is what we're doing right now, we are going to find the Justice card. And you can see this is unscripted because I should have been a little bit more organized, but I wasn't. That's okay. So here's the Justice card. So we're going to pretend that we pulled this one card reading today and it was the Justice card, okay? So let's look at the card itself. She's in a red robe. A pretty passionate color, isn't it? She has the scales here, okay? And then she's got the sword here. This is a sword of truth. You can see she's bounded by two pillars, okay? She has the Libra scales, and she's sitting there, and she is basically the judge, okay? She's making a judgment. Not a judgment. She's actually, that's not true, because there is a judgment card. She is going after justice, okay? So justice is about balance, perception, and objectivity. Okay, so this is the Justice card. So we're gonna put that down here. Now the second thing I would do is I would open to Justice, which we have, right? And I'm gonna read about the Justice card, okay? From Liz Dean's interpretation, we're gonna look at the astrology. That's important because of that Libra symbol of the scales and everything being balanced. I think that that's very important. And to know that it is an element of air and it is the Libra scale. So she's very, very balanced. This is a very balanced energy. And then we have the upright meeting and then a possible reverse meeting if you read reversals. I think in the beginning I would say don't read reversals because they can be confusing, unless they're not confusing to you. They tend to be a little bit confusing to me. And you can actually look at an upright card, and if you look at it enough, you can say, okay, this is the positive side of this. What would be the negative side of reversal? or of justice? What would be something spiraling out of control, maybe? Not wanting to see the truth, not wanting to be balanced, not wanting to carry out correct justice. Okay, so you can think about that. So you can read a reversal in it if you want. Then what I would do is I would actually pick up one of my 3x5 cards. I would find the Justice card on here, or the Justice stamp. I'm going to pull that stamp off. I'm going to put that right on this card, and then I'm going to put Justice. And then from my reading, I'm going to put keywords on this card so we know it's about balance. We know it's about objectivity. We know that it is about finding the truth, because that's what that sword is. It's a sword of truth. So I'm going to say truth on here. Truth finding. Maybe fact finding too, huh? Okay. And this would go into my box where I have all my other cards. And this I would use because I put the stamp on and I wrote it with my own hand. It helps you remember things more. So that will go in my learning pile. And then as I'm sitting at, watching TV or something, I'm just going through these cards. And I'm just looking at it and going, oh, okay, okay. So that is basically how I learned tarot for myself. And that's how I taught myself. If you have any questions for me, please leave it in the comments. Or you can always email either Jen or myself, because this is a dual channel. This is part of my teaching thing that I'm doing, our educational part of the channel. It's unscripted.tarot.together at gmail.com. That is our email address. So I hope that this video was informative. I hope that you pick up the tarot and really make a concerted effort to learn the tarot, because I really think it is life-changing. I think it can help you build your own it's a self-understanding of yourself. And then as we move forward into other lessons, you can see how knowing the tarot and beginning to understand the energy readings of the tarot, you can put the things together and you can see how tarot can have a positive impact on your life in terms of self-discovery, because the cards do mirror who you are. So once again, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your time, and I want you to have a good day on your tarot journey. Thank you.